So I'm doing some inspection on my paramotor. I noticed that I had a little bit of fuel line swell here, and so I cut it off. You see it on the floor there. And I thought, well, why not zip tie it? And I'll just zip tie it green, the same color as the rest of this. And that'll take care of the itty bitty teeny tiny little fuel leak that I've been having there. I've been having another itty bitty tiny fuel leak here, so I pull the gas tank out. I thought, you know, while I've got the tank out, you know, like when I'm looking at my gas tank, it's like this, and it looks like there's hardly any left. And then I'm landing kind of heavy, because I've actually got a lot of fuel left. I've been coming in too early. I've actually got a lot of fuel left. I still have a third of a tank. So what I want to do is I want to measure that fuel and see exactly how much is in, according to like a gallon jug. And then I want to use that gallon jug to fill it up, and then just put in 1 gallon, make a mark, 2 gallons, make another mark, and so on. So I've got my jug, but the problem here is there's all kinds of water in it, because it's a water jug. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you what you do to get rid of that water. Pour out whatever's in there. Take an air nozzle, invert the jug, and blow out as much as you can. You get some kind of absorbent paper towel strip. I just tore it in a square going smaller and smaller, and then you just feed that into the jug. So we go from step 3 with a paper towel in there to step 2. We just go backwards order. Look at that thing. It looks like a squirrel shut in a toilet bowl. And then you just drop it back to the bottom and it just pulls right back out. It's a little wetter than before, but I'll tell you what isn't wet. The inside of this jug. We've gone from being a significant amount of water to just no water. I've got some water spots on the outside, but when you look inside, there's no water droplets or drips or spots or anything in there. It didn't take very long, did it? So I'm not gonna leave you hanging. That's what I had left in there. I had almost a gallon of fuel left. I've got a 2.5 gallon capacity, I'm told. That's good to know. It's a good experiment to do. I know that these are regulated to be a gallon. Same container from the same place. It's like right up to this little collar right here. Even with the cap off, with all the pressure just slumping out, doing its gallon thing. So I need to go a little fuller than that to get 1 gallon. Without the funnel in it, that's perfect. That should do it. So we'll just take this and pour it back in here. But first we're gonna check to see if there's any floaters. Nothing. So I've got a little bit of a dilemma. How do I mark this? Now I know I wanna mark it on this side, which is the left side, because that's the side that I can lean over and see. So I've got a tungsten scratcher. I can use a Dremel and scratch it with that. You have to scratch it to hold the paint. So I've got cross-check, which is security type paint, which is what I'm probably gonna use, or I can use this. But either way, you gotta be able to wipe it off now and then without wiping off your mark. So I want some kind of a scratch that'll just really stay put. Because I don't want the tank to leak or create a weakness. Let's try the Dremel. This stuff just really sticks, so why not do it right the first time? I don't know. Seems like a good idea to me. This stuff dries like hard plastic. This stuff just stays more prominent, which looks like a 19. I should have just done the 1. It tapers down, but it goes wider. I don't know, this thing's a funky shape. Either it's a funky shape for a reason because it's, you know, like half is half. It actually looks like it is. If that's so, I can measure the distance and put in the 1/2 gallon and the 2 gallon, but it's a 2.5 gallon thing. I don't know. And I could do different colored ones because I've got bright yellow too. Now this, it may look scientific, but it's clearly not scientific. I'm just gonna make a dot. Just such a weird shape. All right. 2.37 something. So just shy of 2.5. Make the tape parallel, best we know how. We're just roughing up the surface so there's some porous something to stick to. So we're going to do yellow. I believe I've got green. Yeah, I got green. So I'll do a green one, blue, and then a yellow one. Just something to go by. Doesn't even matter what I mark it as, just something to gauge from my own experience. This one's pretty bright. Unfortunately, you just can't see it with the red fuel. It's like puffy craft paint that's expensive. So we should be able to do a mark that's 2 gallons. If this is just shy of 5 or 4 3/4, then what would it be if we had, it would be 9 1/2. Now mind you, I'm not going deep at all. I think the green would be more effective down there. This, I don't know if it's going to show up well enough to see. Find out. Funny thing is when you're on the ground and looking, everything seems and looks so good. When you're in the air, it's like you have to balance to maintain nice even flight. On the ground, it's like you can lean way over. You don't have to worry about the weight shift. But when you're in the air, when you lean way over, you are steering. It's a steering input. Peel it off already. Probably best, huh? Bam! There's something to go by. I really want to do something to make that darker. I don't like it like that. I can't hardly see it, especially when it's down low in the shadow. So we'll just do a little dot here and there in it. And the next thing to do is to get way up high and run this sucker out of gas. Do a power off landing on a good day when I mean to. And then I'll know, you know, like how long I can fly after I'm below this. Just kind of watch by time. I gotta do blue dots, right? So I got up early this morning, I drove into town and took every gas can I owned, because they're all empty at this point. I bought some Free and Clear 88. That's 0 ethanol in it. Ethanol gets in your plastic and all kinds of plastic diaphragm stuff in your carburetor and just kills it. So I don't need that in my life. So anyway, I did that, mixed it up, I put in another gallon, and as it turns out, my mark here was just a little low. This is 2 gallons measured. So I don't know how this works out to be a ½ gallon. It's kind of cool to know that if I'm about 2 line widths above this, that's where 2 gallons is.
Bonus footage at the end.
There's been no mail the last few days and I've got all the no, but I do look fabulous. Look at this. So the states that we're still looking for, just a quick little thing: Louisiana, Oregon, Wyoming, Arkansas, Kentucky, Maine, Delaware, Rhode Island, Kansas, Iowa, Connecticut, Vermont, and Mississippi. And thanks to everybody that's been sending license plates too. Brian's Mobile 1, P.O. Box 282, Cedar Valley, Utah, 840 Lucky 13.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to click like and subscribe.